In this video, we're going to review writing topic and closing sentences. In this gray box, you see a definition of what a topic sentence is. I'm sure most of you by now know what it is, you're just having some trouble figuring out how exactly to go about writing a complete topic sentence. Some things to keep in mind here in this box. 1, that the topic sentence explains or introduces one of the major points that support the writer's thesis. Another thing you're going to want to keep in mind is that the main idea expressed in each topic sentence represents the major divisions of the essay. Lastly, I totally agree with the advice given in the last sentence. Writing topic sentences before beginning to write the essay will help developing writers organize their essays. I always recommend to students that after you write your thesis statement, you should write your topic sentences. So let's get to it. You're going to be writing your topic sentences based on a thesis statement. Once you have your thesis statement written, then you pretty much have a guide for what is going to be included in your topic sentences. Remember, you need to include your opinion/argument, your abstract subject, and your concrete detail. All of those things are coming right out of your thesis statement, but you're going to add some additional detail, something that will be elaborated on even further in that particular paragraph. We're going to use this thesis statement from our thesis statement presentation on the short story Charles and see the process in which we have to go through to write 3 different topic sentences. I've gone through and highlighted those details that I need to include in my topic sentence. The abstract element is the theme. The concrete details are the 3 conflicts. And the opinion is that the theme, children without discipline will eventually rebel, was revealed by those conflicts. I know it doesn't sound like an opinion, but that is what I'm supposed to be proving in my essay. So each of those things need to be included in my topic sentences. Since I have started with Laurie's conflict with kindergarten, then that has to be my first topic sentence. That's going to be the first topic of my first body paragraph. So here's my first try at a topic sentence from that thesis statement. The theme in Charles, children without discipline will eventually rebel, was shown through Laurie's conflict with kindergarten. This sounds good. I have included the abstract element, the theme, the concrete detail, Laurie's conflict with kindergarten, and I have the opinion that the theme, children without discipline will eventually rebel, was shown through Laurie's conflict. However, I haven't elaborated much on this theme. In order to elaborate here, you have to know what exactly it is you're going to write about in this paragraph. How are you going to prove that the theme was shown through conflict? Or that the theme was that children without discipline will eventually rebel. If you know that, if you've done that thinking ahead of time, then you can elaborate. Often, the elaboration is going to answer the question, why or so what? So ask yourself, why or how do we know that the theme was shown through Laurie's conflict with kindergarten? I've now added some explanation or elaboration at the end of this sentence. The theme in Charles, children without discipline will eventually rebel, was shown through Laurie's conflict with kindergarten because Laurie's lack of discipline at home led him to rebel at school. Your reader now has a very clear picture of what this paragraph is going to be about. And you also have a very clear direction in which you're going to go. You know exactly what details to pull from the text, how to prove this statement that you're making. Alright, let's do the next one. Here's our second topic sentence. The theme in Charles, Children Without Discipline Will Eventually Rebel, was developed through Laurie's parents' conflict with Laurie. It's not quite as long as the first one. Do you know what I need to add? The elaboration. Can you think of a way I can elaborate on this sentence? Do you remember what I said for the first one? So if we ask ourselves how or why or so what about this topic sentence, we might come up with a way to elaborate and add some more specific detail like we did in the first example. I'm going to ask this question here. How did Laurie's parents' conflict with Laurie relate to the theme? How did their conflict actually show that children without discipline will eventually rebel? Let's see how my new addition works. The theme in Charles, Children Without Discipline Will Eventually Rebel, was developed through Laurie's parents' conflict with Laurie because their lack of discipline at home led Laurie to behave badly. Alright, sounds pretty good. Once again, I have a very clear direction of which way I'm going if I'm writing this paragraph, and if I'm the reader, then I know exactly what this paragraph is going to prove to me. There is one more thing that we could revise in this topic sentence. Any guesses? Look at how both of our topic sentences begin. If this were an actual essay, and we were including these topic sentences, then our first two body paragraphs would be starting exactly the same. Can you think of a way to rephrase or reorganize the information so that we have some variety? This is a really simple way. I didn't do much here except rearrange the words at the beginning. So I started with the actual theme, Children Without Discipline Will Eventually Rebel, was the theme developed through. The rest stayed the same. So that's just one way. There are multiple ways, and we'll try a different way in our third topic sentence to rearrange or reorganize that information. Here's our final topic sentence based from that thesis statement. Laurie's conflict with his attitude toward school leads to the theme that children without discipline will eventually rebel because he thinks that rebelling in school will result in him not having to go. This is a complete topic sentence. I've restated the abstract subject, the concrete element, the attitude, and I've underlined again that elaboration. You can see here also where I've rearranged some of this information so that it is not repetitive and my topic sentences are not all beginning with the same part of the sentence. So I still have my elaboration at the end, but I started with the concrete element this time and explained how it led to the theme. So play around with that as you write your own topic sentences to avoid that repetition. As you write your closing sentences, you're going to repeat again the abstract element, concrete element, and the assertion, opinion, argument, whatever it is you're proving. You do not need to repeat the specific detail. That's what you see underlined in these topic sentences. Instead, you're going to include a transition. You will need a transition from the first to the second body paragraph, from the second to the third body paragraph. However, if the third body paragraph is your last body paragraph, you do not need a transition into the conclusion. So let's see how we can use the information from our topic sentences to write a closing sentence. Alright, so here's a very simple closing sentence. Laurie's conflict with kindergarten shows the theme that children without discipline will eventually rebel. We've included there our abstract, our concrete, and our opinion. And so does Laurie's parents' conflict with Laurie. There's our easy transition into the next paragraph. This is a very simple and plain way to do this. It doesn't really show great writer style. However, for the sake of organization, it will get you full credit. So if that's the best you can do, then that is acceptable. In this second example, I tried to incorporate some writing style. Children will eventually rebel if they are not disciplined is a lesson Laurie's parents had to learn the hard way through their conflict with their son. But this lesson is especially hard on Laurie, who has a bad attitude towards school. Again, you can see where I have restated the abstract subject, the theme, the concrete element, which was Laurie's conflict, and then I've provided a transition. I've been a little less basic as I was in the first example, so here I would get a little extra bonus points for style. If this isn't something you see yourself doing just yet, that's fine. You can stick with the way that I did it in the first example. And we'll do one more and I'll show you how to write a closing sentence that does not need to include the transition. Alright, here's our final closing sentence. This one will also include the abstract subject, the concrete element, and the opinion, but not the transition. Laurie did not want to go to school, and the lack of discipline at home led him to think that by being bad at school, he would no longer have to go. His actions in this conflict are teaching him a tough lesson. So I tried to not use any of the language that I've used before, such as conflict, theme. I'm assuming that my reader at this point already knows what the conflict is and what the theme is, and they can infer and make the connection themselves in my language and those original words. This is something to try as you develop your closing sentences as well. Just make sure that everything that you're putting in there does tie in directly to your original idea stated in your thesis and in your topic sentence. Alright, so that is the end of the writing topic and closing sentences review. You should be ready now. If not, please come see me and we'll talk about it a little bit more. Good luck!